One of the subjects that often brings a very lively discussion is the subject of angels. There are just lots of questions we have about them. They are mentioned often in the Bible, but really, who are they? Where do they come from? What do they really do? And do we each have a guardian angel? Well, that's on my mind today because the Bible memory verse for this week that I want to use mentions angels. And it comes from the lifetime of David. It's in Psalm 34:7, and it says this: The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him and rescues them. Now, this was important for David because David was literally running for his life. King Saul was trying to kill him because King Saul saw David as a threat. And David was running away from that, and it was such a real threat that David ran to enemy territory. He ran to the land of the Philistines. Well, this is based on a story that's recorded in the Bible telling us that when David was there, King Abimelech, the Philistine king, probably saw David as a threat too. And so it was dangerous enough that David acted like he was insane so that King Abimelech wouldn't kill him too. So David was surrounded. Back in Israel, Saul was trying to kill him. In the Philistine territory, they knew this was one of the Israelite warriors that had killed a lot of Philistines. What is he doing here? Well, he's just another insane guy. Who cares about him? But during that crisis that was very real, David remembered a truth that God does have angels. They are his creation just as much as we are, although we're different. Human beings and angels are basically like different species, kind of like dogs and cats. A dog cannot become a cat, and a cat cannot become a dog. Humans do not become angels when we die just because we were a good person. God created each of us differently. So he created angels for certain uses. He created human beings for certain uses. Here, David describes one of the uses of angels that God has them for. They are protectors of human beings sometimes. And David, being a warrior, being a soldier, used some good military terms to describe that. He said, the angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him and rescues him. But that idea of encamps around is a military term to say God sets up those angels around us like soldiers to protect us. And David needed that. He needed that encouragement, though I would imagine he did not get to see any angel at that point. He knew that was one of the things God sometimes does to protect us human beings. And that is very true. It is very real. And we know that also from the life of Daniel, that Daniel, of course, got thrown into the lion's den. And the next morning, when he was pulled up out of the lion's den, the first thing he said was, the Lord sent an angel to shut the mouths of the lions. But he still spent the night in the lion's den, didn't he? And David still spent time running for his life. And that's a good reminder to us because we can be so discouraged by the bad things in life and we don't see any solution. But see, God has solutions for us. Sometimes it will be an angel, not all the time. And we are not all guaranteed a guardian angel. It's a great idea, and it sounds like this verse talks about that, but the Bible doesn't promise that every one of us gets an assigned angel. But we need to be careful of putting a little too much trust in the angels anyway. God does use them. They are his messengers. They are his servants. They are his soldiers that he uses to protect us at times. But keep that in mind. They are only God's servants, and they have limited power. They have limited understanding, but God has no limits. And so verses like this that tell us about angels that are our protectors remind us God is there all the time watching over us. He will provide somehow, sometimes an angel, sometimes not. But however God provides will be enough and it will be good. So I hope that's an encouragement to you today because We will all face crises in life. There are going to be hard days, but God is there watching over us. And one way or another, He will be everything we need. Absolutely. Thank you for being with me today, and I hope this has been encouraging, and I hope you'll join me again next week.